So this is the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl College Football Playoff semifinal between Ohio State and Georgia. We're talking about this hit right here on Marvin Harrison Jr. by Javon Bullard. A lot of people are saying that it's targeting. It was called targeting on the play. It ended up being called back. So we're going to look at the rules and see if it really was targeting. This is the NCAA College Football Rulebook. Rules 913 and 914 cover targeting. What we're looking at is Rule 914 because it concerns a defenseless opponent. And these three things all have to be true in order for targeting to be confirmed. First is a defenseless opponent. Check. Next is a player takes aim at a defenseless opponent for the purpose of attacking with forcible contact of the head or neck area. The key in this one is purpose. This is one of the best angles we have on it. I think Javon Bullard here has the purpose of knocking the daylights out of Marvin Harrison Jr. I'd say that has the purpose of targeting. But finally, we get to the third piece of Rule 914, and it's an indicator of targeting is present. So what are the indicators of targeting? Some indicators of targeting include, but are not limited to, launch, a player leaving their feet to attack an opponent by an upward forward thrust of the body to make forcible contact in the head or neck area, a crouch followed by an upward and forward thrust with forcible contact at the head or neck area, even though one or both feet are still on the ground. 3, leading with the helmet, shoulder, forearm, fist, hand, or elbow to attack with forcible contact to the head or neck area. And lastly, lowering the head before attacking by initiating forcible contact with the crown of the helmet. We can see here Javon Bullard doesn't make contact with the crown of his helmet, so number 4 is off the board. You could say he has a launch, you could say he has a crouch, and he does lead with the shoulder to make contact there. But there is a key phrase in all 3 of these, and that is make forcible contact in or at the head or neck area. So as we look through these replays, what we're looking for is at any point did Javon Bullard make contact to the head or neck area of Marvin Harrison Jr. This is our first shot we got. I'm not going to go frame by frame because it's not a good shot. We can't really see much there. Second shot, it's the same thing. It's just too far. Here's our first good shot at it. It's behind the goal line. So right there, you see it looks like he may make contact to the head or neck area based on this shot here. It's a little blurry, but this is a maybe on this one. We'll look at another angle. This angle right here, while you can't see much, it is important to note that if we do go frame by frame, Marvin Harrison Jr., we're looking at his head right here. If his head goes back before the rest of his body does, we'll know that his head was hit in some way. His shoulder is kind of in between him and Javon Bullard, but if he does go above his shoulder, if Javon Bullard goes above Marvin Harrison's shoulder, he could make contact to the head. So we're going to go frame by frame here. And what I notice on this look through is Marvin Harrison Jr.'s head continues to go forward after contact is made. There's not a whiplash or his head isn't pushed back. So what that tells me is there wasn't contact to the head. At least there wasn't forcible contact to the head, as the rule states. What I will say is this is slow motion. He face plants into the dirt. It's a hard hit. It's absolutely a hard hit. And here's our last angle. I'll go frame by frame here. And this is the most telling here. I don't see any forcible contact to the head or neck area. I guess you could argue that the shoulder is the neck area. If you do argue that, I think it's a weak argument. I also think that unnecessary roughness would be kind of a weak argument here. It is kind of a football play. He's not out of bounds. I don't think there's any unnecessary roughness here. And then just taking a look, the ball gets there before Javon Bullard makes the hit. It's kind of a bam bam kind of thing, but the ball does get there first, so there's no pass interference. Based on what we're seeing here, they got the call right. I think they got the call right on. And at the end of this replay, the rules official, I forget his name, but he even mentions exactly what we're seeing here. It looks like it's more contact to the shoulder than head or neck area. So I think it's a good change on the call.
I agree with replay. I I do not have targeting. He is defenseless. It was close to contact to the head neck area, but it was more to the shoulder.